All great successes start small. We saw it here with Google co-founders. We saw it with Jeff Bezos, who worked from a door as a desk. Steve Jobs started Apple Computer from a garage. Apple Computers briefly breached the $3 trillion market cap. In this video, we're going to talk about Rule 184, Profit Requires Patience, and also Rule 603, Synchronization Profits. These two rules are very, very powerful. They hold the key to your financial success inside whatever you're trading. Forex, crypto, stocks, commodities, it doesn't matter. These rules apply. You will find this video absolutely invaluable. Let's run the numbers. A lot of people are under the misconception that financial markets, if you gain, somebody else loses. This is not the case. Rule 603, Synchronization Profits. When you're in sync with the market, you make money, and when you're not in sync, you learn lessons. Through losses. I created this conceptual model because I've been inside financial markets for more than 3 decades. Everybody goes through 4 phases or 4 zones in order to get consistently profitable. Zone 1, the panic zone. Zone 2, the blame or conflict zone. Zone 3, the patience and rule zone. And Zone 4, the mastery of fear zone. Today, I'd like to explain those 4 zones just a little bit differently and use the flow model. The flow model maps skills against challenges. When low skills reign and low challenges, people become very bored. But when low skill meets high challenges, people get incredibly anxiety-ridden. That is Zone 1. Financial markets throw always high challenge levels. This particular picture could help out a little bit. When the challenge is low and the skills are low, people feel apathetic. They just turn off. They get actually quite depressed. If the challenge is high and the skills are low, people suffer a huge amount of anxiety. When the skills are high of a person but the challenge is low, they get very bored. But when the challenge is high and the skills are high, they get into the flow zone, which we call synchronization. To explain chaos zone analysis, when people first enter the markets, they're panicking because they have low skills and very high expectations. They quickly learn that low skill plus high expectations is a recipe for losing money, and they move into Zone 2, which is the blame and conflict zone. Zone 1 and Zone 2 have their foundation in certainty. That is, when people get into the market, they just can't lose. They'll never suffer a loss, and the position won't move against them. It all will only go in their direction. They quickly discover, if they stay around long enough, that Zone 1 and Zone 2 are like living on barbed wire and broken glass. That's when people transition into the probability and rule zone, Zone 3 and Zone 4. In Zone 3 and Zone 4, the knowledge just increases exponentially. The education system is designed to addict people to certainty. The concept of a regular paycheck is very, very important. You do the studies, you get the job. The more educated you are, the more studies that you do, the higher your pay. The very nature of study is that there's a right answer and a wrong answer. We are taught as human beings to be in control, to want predictability. We want certainty. We exist in this lower left-hand quadrant, right at that 0 axis. But financial markets are completely different. Financial markets and profitability exist in this far right-hand quadrant, all the way up here. It's far from certain and far from predictability and control. That's why financial markets require a ton of skill. Now, let's think about it. A lot of people go to work, they get a job, they go through the education system, and they get caught inside the system. But there's some people, for example, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, they exist in the uncertainty spectrum. They actually go outside to the right-hand corner, right-hand edge of this box. At one stage, Jeff Bezos was the richest person on the planet. But look at the early days of Amazon. He actually had a door as a desk. Amazon didn't make any profit for many, many years. But Jeff knew his vision. When people get into financial markets in Zone 1, they want the return that occurs right up in this right-hand corner, but they exist in this bottom left-hand corner. That's why they get smashed financially. Unfortunately, nobody talks about these particular topics. But if you want to be successful, you absolutely need to know. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, these are the lose money rule zones. A lot of people inside those zones take on gambling. They take on very, very high leverage, expecting to make it big very fast. Making it big fast is not your goal. It shouldn't be. Your goal initially when you enter financial markets is to understand them. What you're looking at is Larry and Sergey's Googleplex, the founders of Google/Alphabet. When you have a look at the Googleplex, it looks pretty impressive. There's a lot of square acreage here. It's massive. What's pretty impressive, if you look at it, look at all the solar power there. And let's just go in and visit, shall we? Let's just have a look at this. And I'm showing you this for a very, very specific reason. When you look at what Sergey did, you could say, wow, this is amazing. But where did they start? Just like Steve, they started in a garage. In fact, in this garage. And that's a photo of them 15 years ago. When you have the right focus, you can accomplish anything. But bear in mind, Rule 184, profit requires patience. One of the big problems in life, perhaps the biggest problem, is entitlement in life. People feel entitled to move into the Googleplex right now, although they can't even afford the rent on a garage. They want financial markets to be predictable and, of course, very certain. But when things are certain, the response, the return on investment, is very low. They don't want to put in all the hard work that gets them from this to this. We're just going from the Googleplex and checking out Amazon. Oh, not so many solar powers. Jeff, how could you? Just kidding. That was just a corporate office. Here in Seattle, we're looking at Amazon's headquarters. Wow, what a very interesting building that is. Jeff's come a long way since his door for a desk. Let's go and have a look at what it looks like from the ground. Jeff has come a long way since his door desk. There's a bit of a problem inside Zone 1 and Zone 2. People don't understand just how much hard work is required to pull off massive successes like that. It's exceptional amounts of hard work. Inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, people feel very entitled. Dr. Steve Mariboldi said it very well. A sense of entitlement is a cancerous thought process that is devoid of gratitude, which means there is no gratitude, and can be deadly to our relationships, but also deadly to our financial health as well. A sense of entitlement, I deserve it just because I feel so or I say so, and it must happen the way I want it to happen, when I want it to happen as well. Unfortunately, financial markets don't work with a sense of entitlement. They work with courage and knowledge. The key with getting outside of Zone 1 and Zone 2 is just through learning. A lot of people suffer horrendous losses, and everybody who's been in the markets that's made it has been through that Zone 1 and Zone 2 in the past. Nobody escapes Zone 1 and Zone 2. If you're feeling like you're in there, don't feel bad in any way. Everybody goes through that. Nobody escapes it. They don't escape the feelings, but they can escape the zones into Zone 3 and Zone 4. In Zone 3, we apply knowledge and probabilities. We stack interdependencies and interrelationships between charts. We know what we're looking at and we know what it means. From inside Level 1 CTKS method certification, you can see that CTKS has a very specific concept: character, training, knowledge, and success skills. We need to do the learning. You need to start small and scale to gain experience, and you need to have positive excellence. These are the things that will fast track decades off your timeline to profitability. All good things take time. It's the same with financial markets. If you ever come across anybody that says, I can give you 100% return with 0% probability loss, run and run fast. When you're learning, please do not gamble. Don't take the long shots. They're long shots for a reason. Inside the masterclass, I transfer nearly 40 years of experience inside financial markets. You can see it's pretty in-depth, but it needs to be in-depth because you need to get high levels of skill. You need to exist in that top right-hand quadrant. And one thing that's very beautiful with the masterclass, there's always living videos coming out. And the LV section is a really fantastic section to keep you updated. It's important to realize you need to get up to this top right-hand area, which is far from predictability and control and far from certainty, but you have a lot of knowledge. You know how to stack probabilities. You know how to control your emotional state. You know so many rules. You know and understand how to make three-dimensional decisions. That is, if the price goes for you or against you or nowhere, you know what to do. You understand percentages, you understand patience. You can do your 10-5-10 funds, and you know the price is reality and news is often very misleading. Instead of going all in and all out of positions, as people do in Zone 1 and Zone 2, you layer in and layer out of positions in Zone 3 and Zone 4. The people that are attracted to financial markets are amongst the smartest people that you'll ever meet. They're used to getting it right, and they can be absolute leaders in their professions. The problem is that financial markets run on synchronization. They don't run on blame, and they don't run on entitlement. When you get high levels of skill, you actually get to where financial markets will synchronize you. One of the things that professionals do, they buy on red, sell on green. That's a very unnatural thing for retail. Retail is Zone 1 and Zone 2, investors and traders. Professionals are Zone 3 and Zone 4. There's a completely different mindset in the professional mindset. It's a calm and balanced mindset, not an emotional, angry and blaming mindset. It's a learning mindset that professionals have. Professionals understand that life's internal battle is the real battle. We want it all now. Well, no, yesterday. We want it all yesterday. We don't want to work in a garage. We want to work in a mega complex. But we have to work our way there slowly. Society teaches that negative excellence is the way to get what you want. Don't work for something, just bully someone else. And if you can't bully, just steal it. And this is what a lot of people do inside Zone 1 and Zone 2. Zone 1 and Zone 2 behavior can be witnessed by hatred, revenge, arrogance, and neglect. But the problem is that when you're inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, the inner conflict and outer trouble create a very miserable life. The greatest problem that we all face as human beings, we always say we're doing our best, and that's the truth. We are doing our best, and we are unaware of our negative habits. That's why it's good to point towards something, and that's why exactly positive excellence is a powerful force to get you into the beautiful life that you so rightly deserve. One that has inner peace and outer peace, gratitude and happiness. One thing to understand, if we have entitlement, we cannot be grateful. If we can't be grateful, we cannot be happy. Many people want money and success because they feel that will make them happy. Money and success, yes, they're very good, but they won't of themselves make you happy at all. In fact, money brings a lot of problems with it. Therefore, it shouldn't be about money. It should be about who you become as a person. For example, if you become incredibly wealthy and the people around you see that you don't really deserve it, you've just struck it lucky, you're now driving around in a Lambo, you're going to have a lot of visitors to your front door with their hands out saying, "Where's my part? You didn't earn it." And it could get worse than that. If those people are in Zone 2 and Zone 1, they're entitled to your success. For example, there was a Time article, "Here's how winning the lottery makes you miserable." If you win the $1.5 billion Powerball jackpot, you may not be as lucky as you may think. Many winners befall the so-called curse of the lottery, with some squandering their fortune and others meeting tragic ends. Easy come, easy go is the way of winning. If you're not ready for something in life, that thing that you're not ready for will be taken away from you. Take it from a winner who won $315 million in a lottery in West Virginia in 2002. Jack, what did he say? "I wish that we had torn that ticket up." What about Abraham that won a $30 million lotto jackpot? What did he say? "I'd have been better off broke." What did Sandra Hayes said, who won the Missouri lottery in 2006 and split a $224 million Powerball jackpot with dozens of co-workers? These are people who you would have loved deep down, and they're turning into vampires trying to suck the life out of me. The list just goes on and on. Money by itself is not the answer to your problem or problems. The answer to your problems is a high level of skill and being able to deal with a high level of anxiety. Getting yourself into the flow state is all that matters, because you live a rich internal life when you do that. And of course, when you work so hard for what you get, people wouldn't dream of saying, "I need a part of that." They wouldn't turn into vampires. Being in financial markets for nearly 4 decades, one thing that you want to be is inside Zone 4. Even Zone 3, you don't really want to hang out there. Zone 4 is the place to be. The way to get synchronized is to stop focusing on money. Rule 603 is incredibly powerful when you know how to deal with it. Professionals buy on red, so the position actually moves against them, but they don't buy on red at the top of a peak. They look for basing actions. Life teaches us to exist in this lower part, predictable and control and certainty. Just in this area, financial markets demand that we live up here. That requires completely different skill sets. Therefore, the journey from Zones 1 and Zone 2, that bottom left-hand quadrant, to Zone 3 and Zone 4, that top right-hand quadrant, is a complete shift in attitude. Zone 1 and Zone 2 have negative excellence as their foundation. Zone 3 and Zone 4 have positive excellence as theirs. Financial markets are awesome places to exist. One thing you don't want to be is on the left-hand side of this diagram. If you're trapped in retail thinking, you're going to lose money, and you can lose it for quite a long period of time until you learn to get across to the right-hand side, the professional side. And there's a big chasm in between these two things. It's not a simple jump. It's an absolute change in mindset. It's the giving away of all negative excellence and the embracing of positive excellence. Why do we do that? Why is it important? Why can't we just have negative excellence? If we just keep on blaming and feeling entitled to things, we're going to ask things of ourselves and other people that we can't deliver, and other people can't deliver either. To be successful in your financial journey, stay away from retail and embrace the professional mindset. And always know, financial markets are not competitive. It's not a gladiatorial match where you win, where somebody else loses. Financial markets work as a pooling mechanism. They draw in money from millions of different sources. If you're synchronized, you get paid. And if you are desynchronized, you pay the market. That's as simple as it gets. I like to say that we weaken before we strengthen. So if you're feeling like you're stuck inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, don't worry. Millions of people have been there as well. And millions of people have gotten out of those zones also. A beautiful life awaits you. You just have to look at the world in the way that allows you to escape Zone 1 and Zone 2 and get into Zone 3 and Zone 4. The fastest and easiest way to do that is through positive excellence. And a positive excellence life trend just looks like this. We get resistance, diversions, and setbacks. It could be dealing with sickness, loss of a loved one, separation from family, relationship breakdowns, and our strength feels like it's decreasing. But we always weaken before we strengthen. You will come out of that dip in your life. You will reach a level of promotion and support set up for the next life rally. And eventually you will encounter resistance and a setback as well. Again, you will strengthen and just rally onwards. A lot of people say, what is my purpose? What is my destiny? Why am I here? It's always the same for all of us. It's to live a life of positive excellence, spreading kindness, empathy, and care, contributing and sharing with others, gaining new ways of thinking and gaining new skills. We know that every negative habit weakens us and weakens us in a bad way. Thousands of people have found that the CTKS Creed really helps them to create better habits and therefore create a better life. The Creed is all about daily positive affirmations for abundance, financial success, and happiness. It's been a while since I've read it through from start to finish, so let's go for it. I know the universe wants me to succeed. You're saying this to yourself. The I is you, if you know what I mean. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. And I never let a problem beat me because I solve it with positive excellence. In life, our thinking creates our results and our current financial circumstances, and also emotional circumstances. If you want to change the circumstances, you just need to change your mind. How do we change our mind? With better habits. Better habits create a better life. A better mind creates better outcomes, and we know all results come from the mind. So we have to focus on the mind. It's so important. Replacing fear, which is negative excellence, with courage, which is positive excellence. If you like the concepts of positive excellence, or you would like me to talk more about positive excellence and all of this kind of thing, which can really help you out, please leave a comment with positive excellence in it, or just the words positive excellence. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.